Alright, this is the last of 3 where I go through basically having done a basic building, showed you how you kind of nest blocks and do the like kind of thing, nest components, put things into groups, think a little proactively about some of the stuff. This of course allows you to do lots of different things the more organized you are. Revit kind of forces that on you. AutoCAD doesn't, and I think that's some of the habits that we see. And even Civil 3D, it doesn't necessarily organize as logical as a lot of some of the way parametric modelers want you to do it. So as I go through here, I've got this base document. I'm just going to kind of, what I've done here is I've got set up 2 scenes. Basically the scenes are done, they're like views. I'm going to hit a right click here and show you what the scene manager looks like. And this one particularly, these are the properties that are saved in any scene. Camera location, hidden geometry, visible layers, section plane, style, settings, and axes. So if I go from scene 1 to scene 2, the only difference is the style. So I'm just going to not even change the camera in any of these things. What I'm going to do is going to make a bunch of styles here, a bunch of scenes. I'm going to go to Scene Manager and make scene 3, scene 4, and scene 5. And the only thing I'm going to do from scene 1 to scene 2 to scene 3 is change styles. This in AutoCAD or a lot of these programs would be, Impression would be basically the AutoCAD product that does this like thing. But what I can do here is I can now go to Window, Styles, and there's a lot of styles that have been made. You can kind of change them. So I'm just going to go ahead and just change straight lines here. That'll be my new style as I hit here. It doesn't really make much sense, but I'm going to go ahead and within here, I'm going to go here. And it didn't actually catch that style. So I'm going to go ahead once again, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. I'm going to go exit. I'm going to go ahead to Window, Styles, and I'm going to set the style here. And I'm now going to hit right click, Scene Manager. I'm going to update. The only thing I'm going to update is the style. And so my guess would be, and my assumption is that style is there, and scene 3 has the style. I can go now to scene 4 and once again say Window, Styles, and pick something else. In this case, I'll take it back to something that's a little bit more typical of what we've had before. And I am going to go ahead and hit here, and I'm going to go ahead and right click, Scene Manager, and I'm going to update just the style. I would recommend making these updates one at a time. There's a lot of different things you can change, and I'll do that in a second, but now I've been kind of updated the style for scene 4, and I'll do one more. I'll go to scene 5. If you notice, there's that nice shifting as you look at transition. This is all about transitioning, which you notice in PowerPoint makes a big difference how you transition from one thing to the other. Adding text in the thing, highlighting, de-highlighting, going between a pencil sketch and a rendered sketch. Those are the types of things that you see start to look very finished, if you would. Final here, I'm going to go to Styles, and I'll pick one final one. Scribble on Masonite works for me. All right, so you've got a final little bit here, all these different things. You've got to remember right-click, Scene Manager, and you're going to do the update. And we're just going to update, in this case, the style and fog. The visible layers you're going to see is one of those that's going to be quite important. But very often I would recommend, if you really get into higher order presentation, use a lot of section planes. So we're going to hit update there, and we now have scene. You see how it transitions here. So it's transitioning there, there, and there. They're nice short, they're transitions you can do within actually an animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and now update something else. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go ahead, Scene Manager. I am going to update just my camera location. Alright, so now when I go to scene 2 and I move it around, if I'm in scene 2 right now and I do a little bit of an orbit, right, or a move, and I go ahead now and I hit my update scene 2, I'm just going to change my camera location, if you notice there, now going from scene 1 to scene 2, there's 2 things going on. I'm going to now go to scene 3. If you note, each time scene 3 will take me back. That's one of the issues. You shouldn't have to go back, but I'm going to go ahead and here, and I'll just finish this last one up. This time I'm going to go ahead and update scene 3. I'm only going to update the camera location. It will set everything else correct. And I'm going to update. And now as I go to here, from 1 to 2 to 3, you can kind of see that you've got more than one thing that you can do transitioning. Just to leave it, I'm going to leave it at this. Right click. We're going to go to, we're going to click here, View, Animation Settings. And the settings thing is basically how you set up scene transitions. So I'm going to set my scene transitions to 5. The scene delay, it's a little bit sketchy. There is some post-processing you have to do to make it really look really nice. But I'm going to go ahead and set those there. Now when you hit here, File, you just hit Edit, View, Animation, Play. I'll just let this go. It'll look a little rough. It's going to look rough when you're out on the web because of the frame rate that I'm selecting on or I'm producing on. But this general sense, that rough transition right there is what basically isn't always the best. But the fact that you can get a lot of stuff done nicely very quickly is just an incredible tool that I would recommend those of you, if you get to a point where you have your tins done, try to do something like this. Finally, it's great for walkthroughs. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I can hold my left click is where I'm standing. That's where I'm looking. Of course, depending on what I want to be in a perspective view to do this type of work, basically. So I'm going to go back to Camera, Standard Views, Top. If you're going to do walkthroughs, you've kind of got to be in perspective, because walkthroughs are about your eye. I'll once again put myself here. This is a cheesy, easy way, I guess I'm going to call it, to do a walkthrough, because you could update your camera here, and then start walking through. I've got to pull my thing down here so I can see it, but I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to do a walkthrough now. I'm going to walk through. I could change my camera. There's a lot of pathing. Anapath is the command in AutoCAD. Revit, I'm sure, has very similar stuff. So I'm kind of walking through. By hitting a control key, I can run through. Once I get inside, of course, I can change my eye, look up and look around, start to see, especially with shadowing and the like. So that's a great tool within that. But in reality, what you can, and then instead of it being active, once you can plan your paths through, you have this ability to file, and you can export an animation, though it'll be pretty low quality. I'll just put this one out and see what it looks like. You've got different options, codecs, all that stuff. I'm going to export. Let's see how much it takes. I'm going to export this right now, and it's going to take quite a while. It's going to take about 6 minutes. This is going to export, and I'm going to go ahead and stop in the middle of that. So basically how you go about doing it is scening. You update one thing at a time, and styles is a big deal. So it gives you this ability to take your base tins. Maybe you photo rendered them, but you want to use them as pencil sketches and then photo renders, and then you want to make it look like a cartoon. Incredible power in this. Again, the AutoCAD product is impression. You will not have access to all of these things, especially if you are in between work. And so I recommend that you start looking out at some of these tools within Revit, AutoCAD, SketchUp, and any other engine that you might hear an employer would be using. Thanks for listening.